Yep.
Okay, so I've got a final question here before we wrap up.
Okay.
How do we like embrace the idea of beginning again and starting over and kind of wade through the fear of starting again? Because that, you just got, like, for example, let's paint the picture of someone who's been with someone for 20 years.
Yep.
And all of the things that we discussed, the cultural things,
Yep.
maybe they've been blindsided when their partnership ended. How long does the grief last for, and how long can you, like, how do you move forward, start again?
It depends. Like there's no time frame for grief. Like I went through an 8-year relationship, got over that pretty quick. There's been a lot of grieving within the relationship that occurred. The last one very sudden, and so I'm just like smacked psychologically for a 6. 20 years, if like, put some filters on this, like if it's a very loving relationship, completely blindsided, what the hell does this mean? It's like your world's been upended. You've basically done a psychological 180. How do you make sense of that? It's like, good luck. That's going to take a while. But the process through that's exactly the same as whether I've been through a 6-month relationship, that with love of my life. Going to move through it, going to change. And like we talked about this before about like our ages, like getting to the age now where it's like, I'm kind of tired of going through drama. I'm kind of tired of doing this sort of stuff. I would imagine for someone who's sort of been together for 20 plus years, where they have to start again, it's like, not only is it the loss of something like that connection, but also what the hell does it all look like now? It's a different experience. Like if you've sort of been in and out of relationships for 20 years, you sort of have a lay of the land, and it's how fatigued you are in going through that process. But again, you keep having to look at yourself, making sure that you can resolve any of the baggage, make sure you're growing as a person, and then actually checking in with yourself to go, am I ready to try again? Am I ready to meet someone on a deeper level? Or even just, am I ready to meet other people just to see if there's other people out there that are good human beings? Or is it maybe I actually just want to meet people to sleep around and connect, to try and, I guess, find myself within that space? Probably not the most healthy way, but it's still an avenue. Like you're trying to heal something externally. So I guess short answer, it's you're playing with the external, internal environments. I'd say the bigger one of the two is the internal. If you're doing just the external stuff, you're probably missing a lot of growth, which is not good.
Right.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that made any sort of sense.
It's a tough. What I heard, I guess one of the things, the biggest thing I took from that was, like, sometimes you got to get out there and practice the behavior. Like you were saying, like some of your friends, the advice you got in your recent breakup is like, just go out there and be reminded that there are great people out there. You don't have to marry these people. Just because you get to this point where you're like, everyone's an a-hole, blah, blah, blah. Like, what's going on? And then I'm always like, well, you are the common denominator, like, to myself. I'm like, well, okay, so what do you need to look at? What's the thing you need to look at? And I'm like, okay, that's what's my lesson in all of this, because for a while there, I wasn't having a great time internet dating. And I look back now, and I was 100% linked to my attitude at the time. I was really jaded. I was just over it. I shouldn't really have been dating, is the truth. Whereas now it's a lot easier. I'm like, oh, I'm really honest. I'm like, yeah, something shifted in me.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think a really important point, and it's very hard to do, is you don't want to taint someone else with your own stuff.
Right.
Like it's so easy just to go out there and go, I'm just going to rebound and sleep with someone, or go on the internet dating thing, and you just sort of feel angry and still annoyed and like grieving and lost and that sort of thing. And you meet someone and you just go, mask, put this mask up, and it's like, I'm just, I just want some fun. I just want to chill out. I don't want to think about it. If that person's not in the same space, or it's not communicated where you're at, like you're potentially giving them baggage about a negative experience, because they're going to be left blindsided to go, well, where the hell? Or I've been ghosted, or I've been used, or I feel like I've been objectified, or something like that. And it's like, you just